Good evening and welcome back to the Man Cave. It's Thursday night once again, and sorry I'm a little bit late kicking off here. I'm having a little technical difficulty, so if I disappear, I'm not sure what we'll do. My camera just quit working all of a sudden while I was getting set up. So, Brother Jeff, how's it going?
Howdy. How's it going?
See if Tanya's up there. She's up there. All right. It's Thursday night once again. It's time to do that thing we do. So, all right. I got some of our regulars here. Brian and Anthony and Mike and Paul. So I'm going to get my bourbon pour going here tonight. I'm going to open up a fresh bottle of this Southern Star Paragon that I like so well. This is a cask strength wheated bourbon that's from a local distillery. It's one I really like. Jeff, you having a drink with us tonight?
Absolutely.
Russ, good to see you. What are you having, Jeff?
Oh, man, I'm having me some Eagle Rare.
Eagle Rare. Tanya, have you got the coffee going?
I do have the coffee going.
Awesome. What kind of coffee are you having tonight? Daniel, welcome.
I have to tell you, honestly, I don't remember what kind it is because I put it in the hopper before vacation.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sure it's good because all that coffee you've got up there is good stuff. So I've got to get another thing back up here while I'm thinking about it. I had to restart, and everything that I had set up, I'm having to reset. So give me just a second here. I get my other share window back up where I need it. There we go.
Hey, Merry Christmas, Tar Hill, and take care of your mama.
You only got
All
one.
right. Tar Hill, yep, good to have you. Woodford Reserve. Daniel likes Woodford Reserve also, Tanya. I don't know, is Randy in here tonight?
I haven't seen Randy yet.
We were talking about Randy the other day because we were up in his neighborhood. We probably drove through his neighborhood up in West Virginia.
Yep.
This week. Wow. Having some Eagle Rare. Good deal. Eagle Rare is good stuff. Al's the name. Al, have you been with us before? I don't recall seeing your name on the list. But welcome. Glad to have you. Where are you from? And there's Lily.
Yeah.
Lily's making her appearance. Boder, good to have you with us as well. It's that time of week again. And once again, I appreciate everybody here that's been coming with us week in and week out.
Oh, he's Michigan. What part of Michigan?
Awesome.
So I have adopted grandparents that used to live in Muskegon. They decided that their son and my dad served in the Air Force together, and they decided that they really liked my dad, so they adopted him.
Nice. Excellent. Once again, I'd like to thank those of you who have donated. It's helping out a lot. Everybody that's contributed a few dollars here and there, you're doing a great job and helping me pay for the software subscription that I use to run this service. And if I've put the information up here on the screen, and I'll put it up again a little bit later, but if you're interested in supporting this live stream and what we do here, there's my PayPal and Venmo information. You know, your $5 here and there goes a really long way. And I appreciate those of you who have donated. And I noticed that some of you have donated more than once. So once again, I really do appreciate that. It's very helpful, and it makes life a lot easier. So Tanya and I just had a little road trip, a little short vacation. We went up to Columbus, Ohio this week to visit the Columbus Zoo. And I was just telling Jeff before we started, Tanya, I enjoyed the vacation for the most part, but we had bad weather 3 out of the 4 days we were gone.
But at
Luckily,
least the outdoor day was the
yeah,
good day.
the zoo day was beautiful. It was sunny and cool. I don't think it got up over 50 degrees on Tuesday up there, and it was breezy, so it was kind of cold. But the zoo
It
day,
was Tanya weather.
we had a good time. So, but the drive home was, oh man, I was telling Jeff, I was really frazzled by the time we got home because it was pouring down rain the entire. It's a 475-mile trip, and it was raining rather hard the entire time, and we had really heavy fog through southern Ohio and West Virginia coming back. And about the time we got into North Carolina, about the time we crossed the North Carolina line, the rain quit for a little while, but it started raining again right before we got back home. But the last hour of my drive, I guess, was a little less stressful because of the rain had stopped. But if any of you have ever driven up 77 out of North Carolina into West Virginia, you know how curvy and windy that road is. It's tight in places up there, and it's challenging when you got the spray from the trucks, running 70, 75 miles an hour through there. It wore on my nerves. So yeah, and the car's nasty too. So but we had a good time. We had a really good time. Yeah, it's tunnel. There's two fairly lengthy tunnels in West Virginia, and all the tolls are on the West Virginia Turnpike. There's 3 of them that are 475 a piece and 425 a piece. I'm sorry. And I put one of those quick pass transponders on my car a while back where I can just drive through those things because I can actually use those at a few places here in North Carolina as well, down in Charlotte. And when I was going back and forth to Atlanta more frequently, I would use it down there on 85. Jeff, do you use any of those express lanes when you're driving?
Sometimes depends on the time of day.
Yeah.
If it's getting into rush hour traffic, I'll use it, or if there's been an accident, I'll use it.
All right. Well, Tanya, we'll bring you back in a bit. And let me get back over to the comments field here. Okay. Jeff, Christmas is just around the corner. Are you ready for Christmas?
Absolutely. Ready.
I think I'm finally ready for Christmas as of today. I didn't get my Christmas shopping done early this year like I normally do. And the last Christmas present that I bought actually arrived here in the mailbox today. So I'm officially done with my Christmas shopping. I had a little extra item I had bought for Tanya that I thought it was going to show up while we're gone, but it didn't. It came today. Some of these places, you never know the only place I can count on knowing when something's going to be here usually is if I bought it from Amazon, and this didn't come from Amazon, so it was a crapshoot. There's Randy. We were just talking about you. Tanya and I were up through West Virginia yesterday, and we're trying to figure out if we were anywhere near where you live. Or we drove up 77 through West Virginia on our trip up into Ohio. Are you anywhere near Interstate 77 in West Virginia, Randall? And we were talking about that Woodford Reserve. I'm sure. Are you having Woodford Reserve tonight?
My bet is he is.
Yeah. So Jeff, you said you're ready for Christmas.
Oh yeah.
Have you got any barbecue and grilling stuff on your Christmas wish list?
No, because I've got everything I want, and a couple of things that I do want are out of the price range that I would want
Well,
somebody to buy
if
for.
money was no object, what would be on your Christmas wish list this year?
Oh, I'd finish out my Kramer series.
You like those knives?
I,
Yeah.
I bought that slicer, and it bit me the other day. I was putting it in the sink,
Uh-oh.
and I dropped it, and it turned around and just bounced up and cut me. And I went, damn, that thing's sharp.
Yeah.
But, oh yeah, that Kramer slicer that I got, John, that thing, oh man, is it sliced super red.
What Jeff's talking about, guys, are these Carbon 2.0 collection knives right here. Is that
Yep.
the slicer? Well,
Yes,
that-
no.
that's
The serrated edge one, that guy
Down
right
here.
there.
Yeah,
That
that's the
puppy
one with
is
all-
so freaking sharp, man.
Yeah. So Jeff, you just recently got this one, you said.
Yep. Yep, it was on sale up last time we were up at Georgia. The Zwelling store was 40% off.
Right.
So I picked it up while I was there.
So how many you got? 2 of these now or 3?
Just 2.
So you've got the same one I've got.
Yep. Next one I want to get the Santuca.
Jeff and I both are using this one right here. This 8-inch chef.
Now I don't know if mine's an 8-inch chef, John. I think I may have the 10.
The 10.
Yeah, let me measure that thing real quick. I think I've got the 10.
Right. I have the 8, and it's my favorite knife. The shape of that knife fits my hand better than any chef's knife I've got. The heel height here, well, I can't move my mouse over that. The distance from here to here on this knife is deeper than any of the other ones. And when you got fat fingers and fat knuckles like mine, that allows me to get up under there and without having to wrap my knuckles on whatever board I'm working on.
There you go, John.
So Jeff's showing you. Is yours the 10?
No, it's the 8.
I thought you had the same one I had. But these knives, I've put this knife on my Man Cave Meals Really Right Stuff list. And guys, I'm working on this list. It's on the featured posts on the Man Cave Meals Facebook page, and I've put some of this stuff, this particular item's on there, I know. And I'm still working on the list, and it'll be a work in progress for forever probably, but it's kind of a good place to get. What I call it is it's the gift list that you can use to shop for somebody like Jeff who already has everything. But that item won't work for Jeff, unfortunately. But I'm in the same boat. You know, I've got a lot of stuff, and I'm difficult to buy for when it comes to kitchen stuff in general. And Tanya runs a fence for me with my mom. I hope my mom's not watching, or I'm gonna get in trouble. Mom,
I haven't seen her come on.
Yeah. But she'll ask Tanya about something to find out if Tanya thinks I'll like it or not. And Tanya's excellent at running interference and keeping my mom from buying me stuff that I would never use. And but Mom, this is something beyond mom level at Christmas. I would not allow my mom to spend that kind of money. That's the kind of thing I buy for myself.
That's why I was saying the stuff that I want. I wouldn't expect anybody to put out that kind of money.
But this series of knives, I'm a fan, and when the time is right, I'm gonna add this 6-inch chef, and I'm gonna add this 3.5-inch paring knife to my set, because the paring knife and the chef's knife are 95% of what I use. I grab that chef's knife or the paring knife most of the time.
Let me ask you a question, John. Why are you excluding the Santuca out of that?
I don't know. I don't know.
I love my Shon Santuca. That's my next knife that I'm going to get right there is the
That's I
Santuca.
don't know what's different about that compared to the chef's knife. I mean, that's a 7-incher, so it's in between the 6-inch blade and the 8-inch blade.
Mhm.
What is the advantage? What are you gaining by having that?
I like the feel of it. I
Mhm.
don't necessarily need that point that you have on the
Right.
chef's knife.
Yeah, I like
Um,
that point. I
you
do.
know, well, so do I. But like I say, to me, if if it was between that 6-inch chef or the Santuca, I would take the Santuca
Yeah.
because anything
Well,
that you're
I'll
going to
have
do
to
with the
look.
6-inch, you could do with the 8-inch. But my next one, like I say, I want to get the Santuca. Then I'm probably going to get the pairing, and then I
Yep.
may end up with the slicer. I
Why don't you
wish.
stop? Why don't you stop and buy this block?
Well, I had thought about that, John, and when I went and got the slicer, Kathy and I went back into the store, and she goes, "So why didn't you just get the whole block of knives?" And I went,
I can tell you one
"Well,
thing. At that
it was,
price point, was that on sale for 40 off?
yes,
Oh Jesus, Jeff.
I
That's a
know."
no-brainer.
It was
That's
it
a
was
no-brainer.
it would have been 1,023, I think, for the whole thing, and I just spent the 200 on the slicer, so
Yeah.
all I need to do is pony up another 800.
The only thing on that block that I wouldn't care for is that honing steel. I've got a cheap honing steel that I paid $40 for that I love. It's as good as any.
Mhm.
And I've been using it for 10 years probably. Uh, but I don't know. I don't know what that would cost individually. That's probably not, there's probably nothing special about that other than the fact that it's got Kramer's name stamped on it.
Yeah. Well, I say I am for all you people out there. Daniel says,
Sure how to help you with that.
"Well, shut up, Alexa, and you don't have to help me." uh, Daniel, where do we get our knives? Atlanta Grill Company has the Kramers, and then the North Georgia Premium Outlet Mall has a Kramer, has a Zwilling store there that has the Kramers and also the cast iron stuff and whatnot.
And that's where you need to buy it. And you need to buy it around Black Friday
Well, no,
because
right now, anytime Zwilling store is 40% off from Black Friday through Christmas. So you still
okay,
have
so they're
time to take,
still on sale.
yeah, you still have time to take advantage of that.
So yeah, and they're also on Amazon. You can also pick these up on Amazon. So
I say if I could sell my shoons right now, I'd sell my shoons and
well,
throw that money back
I
into the.
I got bit early on in my knife, my fascination with nice knives. I got bit by the Shun bug because they're pretty.
Mhm.
That
They are
they're
pretty.
and they
They're
are,
pretty.
but
They're sharp. They're nice, but they're
yeah,
brittle.
I had trouble with them, and that's why I don't use them anymore. The they're my in my experience, they're very brittle. You have to be very careful with them, and I was still getting microchips in my blades that were concerning. And
Yeah.
I
You,
decided
you,
one
you don't
time,
want to use it for boning out a chicken.
no, I sent my 8-inch chef back to or one of my 8-inch chefs. I think I had two of them at one time, and I sent them back to. I sent one of them back to Shun because they have a free sharpening service. You just have to pay the shipping, and uh, it 6 or 8 weeks later, it came back nice and sharp, and my the nick that I was concerned about in it, they had taken that out. It wasn't so deep; it was not salvageable, but it wasn't. But about 2 or 3 weeks later, that I had another chip just like it. And at that point, I decided that it's not my knife; it's the knives in general, because I've got
Yep.
two. I've also got two Shun boning knives, and I've got a Shun I've got another Shon knife that's part of their barbecue and grilling set, and I don't know what you call it. It's a weird shaped knife, and
Well, speaking of the sharpening, John, have you found out if any of your Ace Hardwares have that sharpening service?
there's none in my area.
Well, that's a shame. I'll tell you what, that machine that they got, that does a bang
Yep.
up job.
I'll find one at some point and I'll try it. In the meantime, I've got a nice knife sharpener. But that Kramer, I haven't had to sharpen it yet. I've been able to keep it going with the honing steel since I bought it. So I'm very happy about that. I haven't actually had to put that knife on a sharpener, and I could not say that for any other knife I've got. I've had to sharpen everything. So let's see. Yep, Randy said he's on 77 in Parkersburg. We were through there, so I think we were through there. Maybe we weren't. We got off on 33 or 35 in West Virginia, right? Tom, I'll have to ask my wife. I don't remember if we were through Parkersburg or not. I don't remember. We'll talk about that at the end. But anyway, back to the Christmas wish list. Is anything else besides a knife that you'd have to have?
The next thing I'd like to get is that setup for the Huntsman for the indirect cooks.
Yeah, well, I've got one of those coming. It was supposed to be here this month, and it's been delayed, so I'm not going to see it till after the first of the year. I also have the rotisserie kit for that on order. So once I get both of those things, we'll do some more with it, and I'll bring it here to show it. And once again, after I've got those two things, and after I've got some time with those two things under my belt, we'll invite Jeremiah to come back on with us and talk more about it, because I'm sure Jeremiah's probably got time with both of those items in already, I would assume.
Yeah, he's used both of them. He's got some videos out there. I am really, really pleased with that Huntsman. Quality, everything about it has been good.
Anthony wants to know if you think the Ace service does a better job than that sink roller you bought.
The sink roller will do a great job on sharpening, but if you get like a little ding in your blade, that service from Ace will take that right out.
It can reprofile your blade.
Yep, because that's the first thing that it does is the computer runs a blade profile, and it picks up on that type of stuff. And
you can also tell it if you want to reprofile your blade to some other geometry.
Degree of angle.
You can tell it specifically what degree of angle you'd like to have. And in some cases, I think that's a good thing, because anything that's more acute than 15 degrees in my mind is too acute for kitchen use. I would rather have a 15-degree bevel on my cutting edge. They hold the edge longer at that. So,
but on that sink rolling knife sharpener, I'm real pleased with it. I've used it on the Shoons. I've used it on the Kramer. Everything has come out shavable sharp.
Yep. And I may still get one of those. I look for that to go on sale at Black Friday. And if it had gone on sale, I was going to buy one, but it didn't. They did not put anything on sale. So,
which tells me that they must have maybe a stock issue.
Yeah, it's possible, because I contacted them.
Because it's a new product.
Yeah, I contacted them and tried to get them to comp me one, and they said that they currently weren't doing that, but they might do it in the future. So once again, they may have inventory problems.
Yep.
I asked this question about what's on your Christmas list on my Man Cave Meals page yesterday. I made a post, and I didn't get a whole lot of feedback on it, and about half of the feedback I got was tongue-in-cheek answers, more so than stuff they'd really like to have. But one of the things that came up, I think one or two people showed an interest in that RFX thermometer system, which we talked about here last week in detail. But one of the other things that came up was the Fireboard Pulse. And the Fireboard Pulse is, I'm going to bring that up here and we'll have a brief look at it. I don't have a whole lot of detail on this guy because I don't have it. This is Fireboard's wireless meat thermometer. And what I do know about this is that it integrates with your Fireboard. So I really should have sat down and read the detail on this before I decided to talk about it tonight, because I don't know if you can use this without having a Fireboard or not. Well, no, apparently you can. It says here that the Pulse connects to the Fireboard 2 series, the Fireboard Spark, which is their instant read thermometer / monitor. It'll connect to the Yoder smokers that has the Fireboard controller built in. And one of the things they didn't mention is the LSG smoker, which I have, and I'm wondering if it'll automatically connect to that guy or not, because it's not listed here. And it says connecting to smartphones via Bluetooth. So this guy would work without the Fireboard 2 if you make a direct Bluetooth connection to it with your phone. So this, what I do know on this, guys, it's $150, and they're taking pre-orders. They have not got, these things are a little hard to come by, I believe. They don't have them readily available, and they're coming in batches, so you have to pre-order it if you want one. And this thing has the capability of using some other method than Bluetooth to communicate back with its base. Can't remember that they've got some terminology for that. It's a different RF terminology. It's called S1G, which is probably some other RF. It may be in the 400 megahertz band, like the RFX. But for that to work, you have to buy the little extra antenna that you have to plug into your Fireboard 2 so it can communicate with this, because it won't communicate with the Fireboard 2 without that, I don't think. So somebody had mentioned wanting this, and this is something I don't know if I'm going to buy or not. So Brian says AGC has the Sync on Black Friday sale. How much will they get? How much did they knock it down? Brian, if you know, what did they price it at on their Black Friday sale? So Levi says the ambient temp on, yeah, it should be able to. I think the ambient temperature is read from the end point here. It's out here somewhere, so you can control. I don't know what the use. At some point, I'm probably going to buy one of these. I don't like having the ambient probe on the thermometer itself, and that's one of the reasons I like the RFX. Let's see here. What you got there, Jeff?
Chef Temp.
Chef Temp. Is that their wireless?
That's their wireless. You can get up to 3 probes. 2 of the probes that go in the, you put them in the back.
Right.
1 in the front. Turn this bad boy on here. Cycles through them all.
Right.
You can
It's
set
Bluetooth.
It's Bluetooth, and I've been real happy with it. Which
does it do Wi-Fi at all?
Yes, it is. And I'll tell you straight up, I got comped this thing. They contacted me and said, hey, do you think you might want to give this a shot? I said, yeah, I can send it. I've been very pleased with it. Works very well on the rotisserie.
Mm-hmm.
The base charges the the probe. So you can, all you do is you plug in the base and it gets the charge. And then you also have these nice little stickers here. They're not stickers, they're bits of metal that go on the probe so you can
Right.
number them 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
And it's been real accurate, real successful. I'm very pleased with it.
Yep.
I will endorse it. Although I'll also say I love my Fireboard products. To me, Fireboard is in my opinion de facto.
Daniel says this will connect to the Fireboard too without the antenna. Then, Daniel, what's the antenna for then? Does it is it just improve the connectivity between the antenna or between the probe and the base? Because when I was testing the RFX talks about having very great communications, and I had to work really hard to make that thing lose a connection. I didn't talk about what I had to do to make it lose the connection, but I can promise you it's nothing you would ever encounter in normal use. So Daniel says, yeah, it just increases the signal. So apparently it will work, but you may run in, you could, in theory, without that antenna and with the stuff Jeff was showing you there, you could run into the same sort of problems that you run into with a meter or some of these other ones where the connectivity between the probe and the base is Bluetooth. I've quit messing with Bluetooth stuff in terms of barbecue because I have yet to have one that I've been totally happy with. The meter block is the closest thing I've had that I've been happy with, but it's Wi-Fi on the phone to base communication side, but it's still got some issues in its design that I believe need improvement, and they give people a false sense of lost connections when they haven't really lost their connections. The other thing that came up in my list was another Fireboard. I think Mark, my friend Mark, said he wanted the Fireboard 2 drive, which you can't go wrong with that. That's a
yeah. I love that thing.
Yeah. It's the workhorse in the Fireboard 2 controller line. When you buy this guy's $259, and it comes with the base unit. It comes with, I believe, 3 probes. It comes with an ambient probe and 2 of their competition series meat probes. If you want, it will take up to 6 probes, I believe. It may take 7. I can't remember if it takes the ambient and up to 5 meat probes.
Yeah.
Okay. So there is that, and you have to have the fan. And one of the things that surprises me is here in this picture, they're showing this fan, this what they call the drive blower 20 CFM, but they've got a newer fan. Is it in the? Yeah, they've got this newer model of the fan now that to me looks a little nicer than the other one. It's the same price as the other one, but they haven't updated their website to recommend that in the place of the other one. I don't know how. I don't like the way they've chosen to connect this blower. That looks like a newer version of the same mechanism that's on the other one. So it is what it is. I don't know. I've got.
Well, you also have the adapter plates that go on the end of that, John.
Yeah, I've got this one right here, and I don't use the adapter plates or their mechanism. I just shove mine in the lower vent of the Classic and then close the door on it. It's not a perfect fit, but it's not a problem. I don't use the adapter plates.
Yeah, I do the same thing for the Classic, but when I was using it on my Big Joe, you needed the adapter plate. It wouldn't fit.
It's too big. It is. It's too big for the Big Joe, or the opening on the Big Joe is too big for this do that way. But this fan's this fan's been extremely durable. I've never had to replace it, and it's got a lot of miles on it. But I gave my Fireboard 2 drive to a friend, and I'm using the Fireboard 2 Pro, which costs a little more, but it uses the well, they don't have them pictured here with it. The that's the wrong page also. It uses the K-type thermistors rather than the proprietary ones. And in fact, I've got a replacement one of those sitting here. They're not as durable, in my opinion, as the ones that come with the two drive. Well, I'm struggling to find the temperature probes. There we go. The Fireboard 2 Pro uses this style of probe. It's got the K-type connector and thermistor on it. These probes, there's two advantages to these probes. The first advantage is they're rated for higher temperatures. If you want to run your Fireboard 2 in an environment hotter than 500 degrees, you need to have this guy. So I went with this one because I wanted to run it to watch temperatures when I was cooking pizza. And these probes are capable of doing that. But the durability on these probes has been lacking, in my opinion. I have replaced both of my meat probes once and my ambient probe once. And this is a replacement for my ambient probe. I'm having to replace it a third time. But this time I did go. One of the other advantages on this one is you can use third party. And I found some less expensive versions of this on Amazon where I don't have to buy the $35 one. I think I paid $9 or $10 for that one. So we'll see if it's any good or not later on. So the Fireboard 2 came up and the Fireboard Pulse came up as being on people's Christmas wish list. Another thing that came up is something that somebody posted. I'm interested in this one. It's the it's that wok station from Cuisinart. This thing is something I'm going to consider buying. I've been looking since I got rid of my Camp Chef grill with the gas burner on the side. I've been looking for an option, a new alternative way to run my wok outside. And I think this guy right here is gonna end up being what I decide to get. It's a little roll around cart, and it's got a 50,000 BTU wok burner on one side of it. And it even comes with a wok. I've got woks, but this I've watched some video content on this, and I think this is going to be what I'd like to have. And it's listed here on Cuisinart's site at $2.99, but I think it's $2.49 on Amazon. And since I was looking at the burners I was looking at getting to use outside for cooking on a wok, the stuff I was looking at was between $100 and $150. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense for me not just to buy this, because this is a purpose-built cart, and it gives me that little prep space and some storage space underneath. And there's a $40 cover you can get to go with it. I don't know. I'm in my audience here tonight. I'm probably the only person interested in a wok station, but this came up, and I'm glad it did because it's given me some inspiration. I would like to get one of these for myself. Jeff, you're still cooking on the Kamado with the wok, right? Your mic's off.
Yes, the connector, Joe.
Yep. I've never been able to get used to that. I know a lot of people do it.
It works just great for me.
Yeah, it works. The only problem I've got with it is the high intensity heat coming up around it. You got to wear
You got to wear your
fire.
gloves.
Yeah. So
I wish Kamado Joe would come out with an adapter plate, a ring
yeah,
that would
yeah,
set around that, so you put your wok right in the center of that thing, and
wouldn't be
that
hard
would
to do.
eliminate. Nah, you do it out of piece of plate steel. Doesn't have to
Yep.
be anything fancy.
They've already built what appears to be a fairly decent wok. I haven't
Oh,
seen the
that wok
wok
is great.
yet.
I
I
love that
haven't.
wok. It's so
Yeah.
easy to clean up. It's that carbon steel. I'll
Yep.
tell you what, Kamado Joe, when they brought out that the carbon steel line of the wok, the paella plant, the paella pan, the
Right.
half moon pans. What else did they come out with? I think that's it. That they nailed it with that stuff. They really did.
Right. So we got a new watcher from the UK. Somebody's up late tonight.
My only complaint with the half moon pans is I would
Uh,
rather them sell them separately rather than you buy a set of a solid half moon and then the half moon with the holes in the bottom.
I agree.
You
I
know,
have both of them, but
I I haven't used the one with the holes in it yet.
Jeffrey, I don't. Uh, I've got any deep frying that I do. I typically do on my stovetop or on a induction cooktop that I can run outside. Uh, I don't do a whole lot of deep frying, but it's not that I don't like it. It's just Tanya's not as much into the deep fried stuff as I am, and I just don't do a whole lot of it. And when I do, it's in small quantities, and I don't really have a need for anything bigger. So you're looking at the Cajun Fryer. Let me pull that up. Let's see what that is. Let me bring this back up. Jeffrey, is this the one you're looking at? The let's see. Is this the right company? Uh, Products. The broiler. Where's the fryer on here? Broiler.
Fryer bottom right.
Yeah. There's this single basket. Is Jeffrey, is that what you're talking about? He said yes. He says that's the one. Are you looking at this 2.5 gallon one? That looks pretty good actually. That looks like it's purpose built at 2.5 gallons. Let's see.
My only thing with that is you'd have to be doing a whole lot of frying.
Well,
Keeping 2.5 gallons of oil on hand is used oil on hand is a pain.
the thing about it is you could use in this you could be doing vegetable oil. It's not something that I would worry so much about keeping the oil. And 2.5 gallons of vegetable oil is not that expensive either.
No,
But if I was gonna do a deep frying for a lot of stuff, that might be a cool tool to have. That's I love the ball valve drain on it. You could hook a hose up to that and drain it right back into whatever container. And if you wanted to use peanut oil or something that's functional enough to where you could use the oil again, you could very easily strain that through a cheesecloth as you drain it. This doesn't Russ Jones have one of these? I can't remember if Russ has got one or not. And if he does, I think he's got the bigger one. Here's that one on a rolling cart.
yeah. Then you have the 4 gallon.
Yep. I don't know.
Four
That's
gallon
pretty
double
cool.
basket.
Jeffrey, what would you cook? What would you cook if you had that? What are you going to cook in there? Because that one's not suitable for something like a whole bird. You could do parts. You could do chicken pieces and stuff in that. You could do fries in it and any other of the smaller stuff that you might deep fry. The 4-gallon one here, what's it show on the inside? It's a 2-basket version of the other one. So that's pretty slick. I guess there's just a propane burner in there that you have to fire. I was not familiar with these, I don't think, unless I saw Russ. Russ has got a deep fryer, or he had one, and I don't know what he whether it was this one or something else. Yeah, Jeffrey says he'd be seafood and chicken and fries. So Scott says it's got a device on the bottom that allows you to drain the bits out, and you, in theory, in the right conditions, you could just leave the clean oil in it. The stuff that settles to the bottom, it's kind of like a beer fermenter I used to have that was conical, and the sediment would form on the bottom, and you'd open up a ball valve on the bottom and allow the sediment to drain out, just the sediment, and then close it back up, and you're clean again. So, Jeff, I'll let you have that question. See what you think.
I'm going to say you can.
Did you just buy it today?
Yep.
If you did, I can't see any reason why you wouldn't be able to keep that in the fridge until this time next week.
Of course, I will say
Brian.
I am cooking mine tomorrow.
I like this question right here because I have answers to that one. If you got a favorite lunchbox, Jeff, do you use a lunchbox? You don't go, since you don't work anymore, you're not carrying the lunch.
I don't have to carry my lunch to work anymore.
Okay, I'm going to let Tanya answer that question. It's about time to bring Tanya back in here anyway.
My quality lunchbox was a paper bag.
Tell Ryan about the lunchbox.
First, I have to tell you something. I've been holding it. I'm sorry,
Okay.
people. John, I got accepted into the Insider Tour at Lego. I'm gonna get to go to Denmark and go to Lego.
Awesome.
Yes. Oh my god.
So that's fantastic. All right, so that means I'm going to be stuck at home with the cats while Tanya goes to Europe sometime in the spring.
In May. Yes.
In May. Okay.
Okay. So.
All right. Tell Brian what the best.
I've been to
lunchbox
the
on
Lego
market
factory,
is.
Tanya.
I'm so stoked. They make
That's awesome.
this special tour package. You get this special Lego set for the tour. They only make 50 of them, but I'm gonna get one.
That's awesome.
Good girl.
Oh, I'm so excited, guys. I'm sorry, there's just like.
So
Oh
answer
my gosh.
Brian's question to see if you and I are on the same page.
Lunchbox. Well, I currently have 2 that are in rotation. The first one is from Luth Trading, and that's one of Louis' lunchboxes.
That's
And
the
I
one.
take that for the big days because it's got 2 compartments, and you can put stuff on top and in the middle. So I really like that one. But I also have an Artic, just a little square Artic cooler that I take sometimes too.
It's the Louis lunchbox from the Luth Trading Company is what I consider the really right lunchbox, as long as it's not too big for your needs. And that Tanya's got this Artic. It's I think they're ARTIC maybe. They're the same people that make the coolers, and I've got one of those also, and I use that one to take stuff to work in simply because the Louis lunchbox is too big to fit in my locker at work. So this other one will fit in my locker if I need it to go in there. But it's I don't know if I have that Artic lunchbox sitting out here or not. I don't see it.
Hang on, I can go grab both Louis and the Artic.
But the Artic is like a 8-can. If you let me just bring it up here because it's since we're showing stuff. I bought this one for Tanya a while back, and I liked it so well I bought myself one. It's in their soft cooler section on their website, and it's well, yeah, it's in their everyday cooler.
Here's the Artic.
Yeah, it's this guy right here, and it comes in multiple colors, and that's I guess the color. These are all that's available right now because mine's not black. Mine's like a darker blue, and they've got a smaller version than this. They've got this 6-can one, but I have the 8-can version of this color, and the one Tanya's got is what color was yours? Tanya's is a lighter blue that I don't see here
It's
at all.
Carolina blue.
Yeah, they don't have it. They apparently don't have that color anymore. But this 8-can one's a pretty good lunchbox size, and the shoulder strap, you can take it off if you don't want to use it. I don't use the shoulder strap, but this is a pretty good lunchbox. And the Louis lunchbox,
I have right here. Beautiful.
That's cool.
from the Luth Trading Company. That's an awesome lunchbox right there, folks. That is the that's the stuff right there. It's got 2 sections, and it's got that, you can have cold stuff in one section and stuff that doesn't need to be cold in the top, or vice versa. It's got a lot of features. How much is that guy now? It's on sale for $62, but it's up to $89.95. That's gone up $20 since I bought mine, because when I bought mine, it was $69.95. Brian, I've got the Yeti lunchbox. If you're talking about that small rectangular one, and I've got the lunch bag also. Let's have a look at that. I don't really care for either one of those, and I paid for both of those. I got them. I bought both of them from Atlanta Grill Company. I've got this day trip lunchbox. This is $80, and that's all it is. There's nothing fancy about this. It's just a plain Jane flat rectangular box, no frills. It's not worth $80. Definitely not worth $80, especially when you compare it to that Louis lunchbox from Duluth. I've got the Yeti bag also. Where is it located here on the website? It's okay. It's just not something. I can't remember what they call it.
The one that folds over like the little sack.
Yeah, here's the one. Here it is. This is the Yeti bag. I'm gonna take his comment off of there so it won't cover that up.
Okay.
This is like a soft cooler, and it's a bag. I probably actually like this better than the box, and but still, I don't think it's worth $80. But then again, it's hard. Sometimes it's just hard to justify Yeti stuff. Yeti's business model is, I'm gonna make you cry when you buy it, and I bought both of these, and I've used both of them a good bit, but I'm not in love with either of them. So if you're looking for a good lunchbox, that Louis lunchbox from the Luth Trading Company, I think, is my favorite recommendation. So, Tanya, what else? If I missed anybody talking about something that we need to look at for a Christmas wish list, if you've got something on your Christmas wish list that you think's awesome, be sure and pop it up here so we can have a look at it. Honorog says they like the stainless steel Tiffin boxes.
Yeah, those are great too. Like I said, the reason I need cooler based is because, I do drive an hour and 20 minutes. So I have to have something to keep my stuff cool. But
I think this must be cool. What Honorog's talking about. I'm not familiar with those. I've never seen that before. Yeah, but that wouldn't.
I used to have one, and
if you're going to stick that in the refrigerator, that's fine. I don't think that's. Are those insulated?
I don't remember. I've looked at those quite a bit because I think they're super cool, and I like the stainless steel. But again, I tend to lean towards a cooler style so that I can pop in an ice pack, and also so I can reheat it in the microwave because my reheating options at work are not great.
Well, see, I have to take something that's a cooler because I may or may not be able to put anything in the refrigerator when I get to work. Since I work on the weekends, I'm usually able to, but a lot of times when I show up over there on Friday, the refrigerator's full because people bring those Louis lunch boxes and they stuff the whole thing in the refrigerator. And there's never, a lot of times you'll walk in there and there'll be no room in it.
I have a set of bento boxes that I really like that fit down both nicely, both in the Artic and the Louis lunch box.
Right.
That I will use. So those are my favorites.
What else is on somebody's Christmas wish list? Have we got any?
And I went back through and looked for a little bit because I got distracted there for a little bit when
I bet so.
So
now you got to get your passport renewed.
Yeah, no problemo. Brian wants some new saucepans.
Yeah. Brian wants new saucepans. Well,
the cat is drinking my coffee.
The saucepans that I have that I like so much are not available anymore. I bought that. Tanya got, that Costco set that you got me.
Yep.
Those things are every bit as good as All-Clad. I found those
I cannot believe you
at Costco a few years ago, and I knew my sister needed some saucepans, so I called my mom and says, I found the greatest saucepan deal ever. And it was like a 5-pan set with lids. And I said, we've got to get that for my sister for Christmas. So we did. And upon further inspection, I discovered that I really liked them because they're designed exactly like the 5-ply All-Clad stuff. And I decided I wanted a set of them, and Tanya got me a set of them. Was it for the next birthday or for my birthday or something, Tanya? And I love them. Oh
gosh!
But saucepans, I don't know currently in the bargain world what the really right saucepan is, but in the non-bargain world, those 5-ply All-Clads are where you'd want to be, or you'd want some off-brand version of that same design. Somebody else mentioned that, the donkey long tongs. What is that? I'm going to have to search that out here. Donkey Long Tong USA. They've got a website. Okay, here we go.
Errol, you're rotten.
These are long tongs. And, okay, I can see the draw for that. And whoever it was that posted that in my other question was talking about using an offset or a deeper smoker where you're reaching in. 32-inch long, 27-inch long.
Hey, I got to use the mouse. Okay.
The paddle. What is this? It's a fan. Okay. I don't know about the donkey long tongs. I personally, Jeff, what do you think about that? that we don't have the need for that kind of length. You and I don't probably. Jeff, your mic's off.
Yeah, trying to keep the dog from barking. Mine are either 18 or 24 inches, and
Yeah.
they get everything I need. I never have to worry about them. The only thing that I can think of why somebody would want something that long is if they've got one of those really big
Yeah.
smoker units.
Right.
That are like the 100-gallon propane tanks, that are converted, that you want to reach all the way into the back.
Yeah. George, I've had some Smithy cast iron. I've had some of that and the Finex, and I am pleased to say that it's great cast iron. It is. I just no longer can. I do not like the cast iron that's got that polished, smooth surface on it. And the Smithy has that. The Finex has that in the bottom of the pan. I got rid of all that, and I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to buy any more of it. I don't want to turn you off on getting Smithy because it's really good stuff, but I had a very difficult time getting it to hold its seasoning.
Yep.
That Lodge was onto something when they quit doing that way back in the 40s or whenever, and started giving you that textured surface. That textured surface holds on to the seasoning really well. So,
and by the time you get that textured surface built up to a nice smooth surface,
yeah,
it's like hard as iron.
Well, just as with my Smithy and with my Finex, when I would just think I had a good seasoning going on in the pan, a big piece of it would flake out, and I'd have a bare spot in there, and I never could get it. I never could get a solid seasoning on it, so I got out of that.
And then I went and ruined a good Lodge pan when I went and smoothed it down to make it like a Smithy. And
yes, Brian, the Blacklock stuff is my favorite because
it's
the best of both worlds between Lodge and the old-fashioned stuff like the Wagner and the what's that other stuff I have, the old-fashioned cast iron pans that are thinner. They're not as heavy, and there's a lot to be said for the thinner cast iron. It's easier to work with, and it's easier to heat it up or cool it down when you need to. But the Blacklock, I've got 3 of the Blacklock skillets. I've got all 3 sizes of the Blacklock skillets, and I'm very happy with those. I would like to have that brazier. I haven't bought the brazier yet, but I will at some point.
We need to get you turned on to some Le Creuset, John.
No, I can't afford Le Creuset. No, I'll take that back. I can afford it. I won't afford it. It's one of those things where the Le Creuset is like, in my world, Le Creuset is kind of like the Komodo Kamado. It's the cream of the crop. It is. It's the top end stuff, but I can't.
That stuff cleans up so nice, John.
Yeah, I don't mind.
And I use it on the smoker, and it cleans up. You couldn't tell on the smoker.
I've got to be able to realize some sort of added value to pay 4 times the price for it, and I'm just not finding it. The Lodge stuff, I don't have any problems with it. It is pretty. It is. But my stuff not pretty because my stuff looks like hell after I've put it on the grill or on a smoker. I put my dust ovens in the smokers, and they'll clean up. You can clean it up, but
oh, good Lord.
A lot of times I don't put the extra effort into making them pretty again on the outside.
Dude.
I clean them as much as they have to be cleaned. But Jeffrey Griswold, that's what I was trying to think. I've I've got 4 or 5 Griswolds with the large logos on the bottom that I obtained via various shopping experiences on eBay, and I took a few risks here and there on some Griswold, because one of the things about buying that old fashioned used cast iron that's 100 years old is there's two things that can happen when you buy one of those pans. Number one, you're buying it from a collector who doesn't want it anymore because there's something wrong with it. And the other option is that you're buying it from somebody who doesn't know what they have. And the latter of the two doesn't happen as often, because there are a lot of collectors out there if you can get a Griswold pan at what you think is a reasonable price, it's probably not worth having. And I've spent $100 a piece on the Griswold pans that I have, but none of the ones I have are spinners, fortunately. None of them, all of them are flat enough that they won't spin. And what happens is people get those Griswolds, and an amateur will get them, and they'll heat them up to 600 or 700 degrees to clean them off, and it warps the pans. They're warped. So it's one of those situations where not knowing the proper methods of restoring cast iron will ruin the pan's value. The serious collectors and people who restore cast iron like to use either a lye bath, or the ones that are doing it a lot have an electrolysis tank set up because they're doing it fairly constantly. I've never bothered to set up an electrolysis tank because I'm not doing it that frequently. When I get a crudded up cast iron pan that I want to restore, I make a lye bath, and I'll let it soak in the lye bath for 2 or 3 days, and then a simple scouring pad will take everything off that pan. You run it under water and rinse all that lye off and neutralize it with some vinegar, and they'll come clean, and then you can re-season them from there, or you can figure out if it's worth re-seasoning. A lot of times you'll get a piece of old cast iron that'll be really pitted, and you won't know that it's pitted really badly until you get the seasoning off of it. So Staub, yeah, Staub's good stuff also. I have a Staub 4-quart Dutch oven that Tanya bought me for Christmas one time, and I've got a couple of small single-serving Staub pans also, but Staub is also expensive. Staub is not far off of what Le Creuset costs. It's maybe slightly cheaper, but
40% off right now.
Where Staub? Where
At
at?
the Swilling store. Everything in the store is 40% off.
Yeah. But also for Le Creuset, for what it's worth, there are some Le Creuset outlets out there. Tanya and I stumbled across one when we were coming home from Savannah. It's on 95, on Interstate 95, just inside the south, just inside. If you're coming up 95 out of Georgia, once you pass into South Carolina, it's just right in there somewhere, and they've got factory seconds. And I bought a 3-quart Dutch oven, one of the small Dutch ovens, for I don't know, $100 or less. Yeah, I paid about half of what it, or less than half of what it would normally cost. So Brian says there's one of those in Mebane. I might want to locate that and visit it, because if they've got factory second Le Creuset, I may be willing to buy some more of it, because I felt I couldn't find whatever made mine a factory second. I couldn't find it. I couldn't figure out what it was, but that's I've only got 2 pieces of Le Creuset. I've got a small brazier, and I've got that Dutch oven.
I can't say that, John.
I know. I do have a Le Creuset, a stone enamel stoneware baking dish that I've got at a local place that was going out of business. I got it for $60. I got it for about half of what it normally sells for. So I was provided with the small brazier that I have. I didn't have to pay for that, but I did buy the small Dutch oven. So, and also that's another thing that I've got on my wish list that's on the Man Cave Meals site. I've got some cookware recommendations, and most of it's lodge stuff. So yeah, you're into Le Creuset for 3,500. That's fine. That's okay. Everybody, we spend our money on what we want to spend it on.
Hey,
I've been
heck
saving
yeah.
my money.
Kathy wants it.
It's at the Tanger outlet. Okay. Yeah, Brian, that one won't be a second store. There's a Le Creuset store at that same outlet in Charlotte. That's they have some discounted stuff, but it's not factory second. Tanya and I have been to that one in Charlotte a couple of times. In fact, I bought her a wok down there. She has the Le Creuset wok. That's it's kind of a stovetop enameled cast iron wok that we use on her induction cooktop sometimes. So I forgot about that piece. We have that also. And
I have like a tea kettle.
yep, we have a Le
Yep, got
Creuset
tea
tea kettle. Also,
Yep.
we have that. So those two items live in Tanya's kitchen upstairs. I'm not.
Hey, John, on a serious note, the new Le Creuset salt and pepper mills that they just came out with, those
Mhm.
things are really freaking nice.
Yeah.
I can't tell you what they cost, but they're really nice.
Speaking of that, let me bring these guys up. These are something that I also have on my my wish list, my Man Cave Meals wish list. These hex clad mills, they call them the hex mill. This hex mill pepper grinder is, in my opinion, every bit as good as the Man Kitchen. And I've got both of these now. I've got this pepper mill and I've got the salt mill that matches it. The salt mill is a little lighter color, and let me.
But does yours have a light, John?
It does not have a light. We got lights in the house. I don't need them on my. I don't need them on my pepper mill. Tanya bought me this. Or wait a minute, no. This is the set. If you want to get the pepper mill and the salt mill, the full size one, you can get it. You can save a few bucks on that. But I was looking for that tabletop one, Tanya.
I can go grab it right
No,
quick.
here it is. This is the tabletop set. They're smaller versions of the same thing. Tanya bought me this one. Bought me this, and we've got that on the table where we have. If you want to add salt and pepper at the table, this and guys, this item right here, I think, is a fantastic item to use as a wedding gift. Or a wedding shower gift even. This is something, when I'm buying a shower gift for somebody or a wedding gift, I don't necessarily always go to their registries. I'll look, and say, this is something that's really nice to have that most people wouldn't buy for themselves. And that looks like it was on sale for $95 here over the holidays, that set. I think it's normally like $119 maybe. Or $129 even. I don't remember, but it's really nice. They're extremely well made. They're milled aluminum, really high end stuff. So let's see here. What do you got there, Jeff? Your Le Creuset.
Yep.
Yeah, those are beautiful.
Nah.
These things are really, really
Yep.
nice. And you can set the grind on them.
Okay. Well, we're running longer than we normally run, but as long as we get, is anybody else? What's on somebody else's Christmas list? Ryan, I see Ryan's in there. Ryan's got to have something nice on his Christmas wish list. Ryan likes the Shon knives. He's probably got some Shons on his list.
I'll sell you mine, Ryan. So
Ryan, now Ryan doesn't buy the Shon Classics. Ryan may not have the same problem that you and I have because he's buying off a different line. He's buying a higher end line than we were buying. So
Ryan says, send them my way.
Andrew, I'm in Western North Carolina. Jeff is in Florida. So yeah, I'm in Western North Carolina, a little town called Valdez. It's in the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains. And Jeff is in Orlando, Florida.
Anthony, I already had a really, really large December.
Yeah.
You know, I got Outstanding Teacher of the Year. So I was just like out of my mind with that. And then John took me to the zoo and I got to feed red pandas.
Yeah. Aren't the red pandas cool?
Oh,
I think those are the coolest animals.
Tanya's been fascinated with red pandas for years, and I bought her the red panda experience at the Columbus Zoo, where she got to go in their habitat and got to feed them. So that was worth every penny I spent on that. So Ryan says he's got a few classics and he broke the tip. So yeah, it's happening. I'm not the only person. I've talked to other people that have the Shon classics. I can remember the first Shon knife I ever saw, and they don't make it anymore. It was a Shon, it was a Ken Onion Shon design, and that one was one I really thought I'd like to have had because I thought it would fit my hand also, but it went out of production before I ever had the money.
This fits your hand.
George, I haven't been to Nashville yet. We went to Ohio this week. That parlor's going to be when we go to Nashville. And I'm not sure when. We're going to go to Nashville in January, hopefully. Ryan wants a cameraman. Yeah, Ryan's trying to shoot video, and he's figuring out how difficult it is to be a one-man production company.
Yeah, thank you, guys. Ryan, I was very, very excited.
Your cameraman's got 3 legs, and it doesn't move much. You'll get used to using that tripod. Or you could go the action camera route and get one of those GoPros that mounts to your chest or to your hat and let it shoot all your video for you. That just turns into a lot of editing. So anybody else got any items on your Christmas wish list you want to tell us about? Any cooking stuff? Cindy, you haven't said anything. What's on your cooking Christmas wish list? Cindy's got to have something going on.
Which Cindy are we talking about?
Cindy Scott. She's in here with us. Where's Janice? Is Janice in transit between Europe, or is she back already?
No, she's back. I was surprised she's not on tonight.
When did she get back?
I'm not exactly sure, but I know she was complaining the other day about the heat again.
Yeah.
It got real hot there.
She wants a pergola with some lighting. Cindy, my pergola is one of those pergolas they sell at Sam's Club. And I've been pretty happy with it for the most part. It's they've got some newer versions of mine out there now that have a solid roof on it that would be really nice. So
yeah, but John, it's a solid aluminum roof, and that would just make a bunch of noise when you're out there trying to
cook in the rain. Yeah, but it's dry underneath it, and that's a big plus.
You got to weigh the good with the bad. No rain, a lot of noise.
A tip, Honorog wants a fan. You know, we talked about the fireboards a little earlier.
Honorog, just bite the bullet and buy a fireboard and be done with it.
Andrew, I was going to ask you, where are you from?
He's in the UK somewhere. I don't know if he said exactly where he's from, but he's looking for a rotisserie for his Weber. Andrew, the Weber rotisserie. Now that I think about it, I'm sure there's third-party stuff out there. I bet Fire makes a Weber rotisserie that's less expensive. There's a lot of Chinese product out there now, and Only Fire is one company that comes to mind that I know is making a lot of product for a lot of different grills, and they probably have a Weber rotisserie out there as well. So Boater says he needs more storage. Boater, you need to talk to George from VGAS and go have a look at the VGAS. That's the mess right there. That's the answer to your storage problem. Yep.
Not only do you get the answer to your storage problem, but then the top, you got a little prep area.
The big prep area. I talked to George. I had lunch with George the other day. So we're still talking about bringing one of those VGAS systems up here. And if we do that in the spring, I'll make some video content on it so we can have a closer
look. It's a nice
look.
system. I looked at it when I was at AGC Fire show. It's a very nice unit. It's well built, all stainless steel, and it's pretty much will hold anything that you got for your accessories, all your divide and conquer rings, your rotisserie, your everything.
Yep. George flew up to Hickory last week, and George and I had lunch together. Hickory Airport.
Surprised he didn't take you out for a flight.
I got to meet Nanny. I got to meet the plane, the Cessna. It's really a beautiful little airplane, and it's really nice. George, I appreciate you coming up.
Don't bite me,
So,
you little rotten cat.
Meryl likes to be.
That's our little diva.
Meryl likes to be petted, but she likes to bite at you. Nottingham.
Nottingham, UK.
Nottingham. Yeah, awesome. Yep. So, I have to ask, is your team Nottingham Forest? Well, I'm sorry. I don't get to talk to Premier League people much. I'm in a Premier League desert. Damn it.
Well, your team got relegated out of the Premier League and has never found its way back.
I know, but that's okay. I still like to keep up with it.
Oh, man. We even went to that team. Tanya used to be a fan of. Are you still a fan?
Yes.
Home of Robin Hood. There you go.
Yeah.
Tanya likes Chelsea.
Sherwood Forest.
Not Chelsea. I'm sorry.
Oh my God, Chelsea! Oh my God! Oh my God! What?
I'm sorry.
What?
John, you're in the doghouse tonight, buddy.
I know. I said the wrong team.
I'm telling you what. If you weren't so good looking, John.
Now the team's name's escaping me. It's the team from Wales.
I like
Swansea City. She likes Swansea City.
I like the Jacks. So
Swansea City got relegated out, but before that, they came to Charlotte and played one of the minor league teams in Charlotte. And she and I went down to see them play. And I guess that should have been right on the wall.
That would be grounds right there.
Yeah,
that would be grounds. Yeah,
I would not be welcome back in the house if I went that far.
I'd be calling his mama saying, Janice, you need to come and get her.
I believe them fighting words.
Yeah. So.
Oh my gosh.
I haven't seen the movie. Tanya might have, but Tanya's a Premier League fan, and
like
I don't know.
No one else.
Tanya got me interested in watching football at some point in this, and then I came across this player, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who played at the time for Paris Saint-Germain.
Yeah.
And then I started following him because the guy's a monster. The guy's a crazy. And he ended up playing in Los Angeles for a while before
he went back to Milan, and
he went to Ajax.
Yeah, he was at Ajax.
And I think he's retired now. I don't think he plays anymore. So, or maybe he does, but it's
Zlatan can do whatever he wants. I mean,
I got to see him play. Actually, PSG played Chelsea in Charlotte, and we went to that game too.
Yeah,
and we went to see
PSG.
Who we saw? Was it PSG and Real Madrid that we went to see?
It was Real Madrid. It was.
Because everybody was mad because Ronaldo didn't show. He didn't. He didn't come, and I don't know. Those games are really fun. Yep.
Okay, I got a
does,
question
Jeff.
for our audience. Has anybody bought the Sync roller knife sharpener yet? And if so, how do you like it?
Andrew, she is big
I
time.
do. Yep. We even have, so like the little town, well, it's not, okay, so I say little town. Okay, the big city where John is from, Hickory, which is, about 15 minutes down I-40, actually has I don't even know what to call it, baby minor league soccer team.
Yeah.
And I'm really thinking about going and watching that. We finally got a team in Charlotte, so but that's still an hour away. And as much as gosh, I hate to admit this as an American, but we're just not sometimes really that awesome at soccer. Now our ladies rule. There is that.
You should buy season tickets to the team in Hickory.
I might.
They play on Saturdays, so I can't go. But or is it? Yeah, they do. They play Saturdays,
Yeah.
so it's kind of like the Charlotte team.
We've got.
He
one
says
dog.
he bought one.
Yeah.
Use it and tell me what you think of it. I like mine a lot. I mean I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 different knife sharpeners out there, and I think that Sync has become my go-to.
Right. Well, guys, we've run really long, and I need to wrap up. I really need to wrap this up. Jeff and I were talking before we started. We're not gonna have a live stream next week. It'll be the day after Christmas, so I don't think
Boxing Day.
I don't think we're gonna do it. We're gonna come back on July or January, not July.
July?
Yeah, January.
Taking a big break.
So Anthony's got one coming too, Jeff.
Wait, I like that sentence. Jeff, I ordered the Sync roller knife sharpener tonight for my wife to give me for Christmas. That's the way to give the gift that you really want.
Yeah. I'd like to get one, and I probably will, because I'm still looking for that perfect answer to recommend to people who want to sharpen their own knives at home without breaking the bank. And
I think that's it, John. I really do.
A lot of people still think $139 is too much, because Jeff, you have to look at this through the glasses that say my knives didn't even cost $139. So it's really hard to get somebody convinced to spend $139 on something to sharpen, a $20 knife. But I think this Sync might be worth looking at. I've done a little bit of research on these rolling knife sharpeners, and I have finally understood where the differences are between the cheap ones and the expensive ones. And I'm curious if the Sync has the same high quality feature set that the Horrell has, or if it's somewhere in between. And it's all about the quality of the stones that are on them. The tone work is supposedly a good one also, Cindy.
I haven't used it enough to say that the quality of the stones is something that's going to last. I mean,
right.
Only time's going to tell that.
Well, that was the issue. I've looked at some video reviews on YouTube, and the cheap ones, one of the guys, some of the $40 and $50 ones, the guy said you get 4 or 5 sharpenings out of it before the stone's smooth. And
no, that's not happening with this. I can guarantee you that.
So, all righty. Well, anyway, guys, I appreciate it. We're going to take next week off for the holiday, and we'll see you guys back here on, I believe it's going to be January the 2nd. So until then, happy holidays.
Merry Christmas, y'all. Happy